Well, hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us again today. Greg and Philip and I are here to talk to you about resilience and how to build those resilient skills in children and youth. We all know that the world, as we've talked about it, has been topsy-turvy, and things are just in a unique state for all of us. You know, as an adult, I'm struggling a little bit with how things have changed, and remembering that I have skills in my tools in my toolbox that lead to skills that can help me to cope with the way things are changing. And I think about, how do we help our children and youth do that? How do we help the youngest learn how to bounce back when things are difficult and when times are tough? And so I wanted to bring Greg and Philip in today to talk with me about that. And we're going to share a couple of examples for various ages. We have a preschool example, we have a school age example, and we also have a teen example of how we worked with some children who are important to us, that are part of our family, and how we're helping them to build some resilience. There's a book that is one of my favorites to use, and Phil's going to show it to us here. It's called Building Resilience in Children and Teens, and it's written by Dr. Kenneth Ginsburg. And in his book, he talks about the 7 C's. Those 7 crucial C's to help build resilience. And so as we talk through some things today, we might highlight a couple of those C's as we go. So let's go ahead and dive in. I'm going to turn it over to Philip, because Philip is going to share his experience of working with Lily, and she is a preschool age. And so he's going to talk with us about what that looks like for younger children.
Thanks, Heather. I have the privilege of helping to raise a now 5-year-old, soon to be kindergartner. And she definitely takes after her uncle. She has a spicy personality. One thing that we've noticed with her is encouraging coping and encouraging her to be okay when things aren't going your way has been top priority. It's something I have to learn and practice for myself. But when we're working with a preschooler, one of the first things we taught her to do is to say, all done. And you can see now, we kind of chuckle at it. When she gets frustrated, she'll do this. She'll move her hands. But that was from us teaching her from a very young age to say, I'm done. I don't want any more, whether it was dinner or whatever it was. And then that gives the adult the opportunity to say, okay, you can be done, or no, we're not done yet. The point of that was validating that she has a need and a want. And then as she's gotten older, another way that we've taught coping, or we are working through coping, is teaching her to say, I'd like another turn, or I changed my mind. We get this a lot. No, I didn't want the purple plate. Well, you said you did. Well, and then it becomes this whole big ready to have a meltdown. And the prompt for her is, say, I changed my mind. And that's okay, because that happens sometimes. The point is, we as adults have to get out of our own way and stop thinking because I said so. So these are my 2 ways to encourage coping at this 4 to 5-year-old age. Teach me to say I'm all done. Teach me when I changed my mind to just say that. And then the adult has the opportunity to validate it.
I think that's so fantastic. I was thinking about the application of that in my youngest son, and how he says, I want the blue cup, and then I put the milk in the blue cup, and he says, no, I don't want the blue cup anymore. You know, I think your idea of I changed my mind is such a great way to empower preschoolers to have an opinion. And I think about one of the C's in the book is about control. Children need to have the opportunity to have those choices and have some control in what's happening, because it helps their world feel as if it's quote unquote normal. We're running as we normally do, when the rest of things out there maybe don't feel that way. So thank you. That's great, Philip. So I'm going to jump into a school age example. I got to use my oldest son, Preston, for this particular session, and we did a little video that we would like to share with you. But before I share that video, I wanted to talk to you about what we're doing here. We have a practice in our family that we occasionally do something at the dinner table called good, better, best. So we have to talk about something good that happened, something better that happened in our day, and then the best thing that happened in our day. And so you're going to see me going through that with Preston as we're doing a little project. And then I'm going to come back and talk to you a little bit more about what we were trying to build with those skills. Okay, so let's take a look. So it's been a little bit of a tough year this year, hasn't it, Preston?
Yes.
And we have had to stay at home a lot more than we're used to. You missed out on some things at school and getting to see your friends, and I know that was hard.
I still get to see Isaac though.
Well, that's good. That's good. And we got to see him after everything reopened, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, do you remember occasionally we do this good, better, best at our dinner table where we talk about something good, something better, and the best thing that happened in our day?
Now we should do it these months.
You think so? I think that's a great idea. So I would love to hear what you think was something good, something better, and the best things that happened whenever you had to stay at home. What do you think? What was something good that happened?
That I got to do homeschooling.
You liked being schooled at home, huh? Wasn't sure that was your favorite thing. So I'm glad to hear that it was a good part of your time together, our time together. What would be the better thing?
That I got to sleep in, and I also get to not drive anywhere.
Okay, so you got a little extra sleep. How about the best thing? What was the very best thing about
I got to finish the series of Phineas and Ferb.
Oh, I know how much you're enjoying watching them invent things. So thanks for chatting with me today. Should we? So as you can see, Preston had a variety of things that he wanted to share with me. Preston is 8, almost 9 years old. And so there were a couple of things I felt that I was accomplishing with him in that conversation. One is we got some quality time together. We're working on a fuse bead, multi-bead project together, and we're just talking. So I think about, again, those teachers who are in a classroom trying to connect with children. Just sit down and chat with them when you're at a table and you're working on something. But a big theme in our family for this year, even before COVID-19, was I can do hard things. And for Preston, he needs a little extra confidence boost sometimes. And so the idea of I was faced with this really tough situation, and now I am a little uncomfortable, but I can do hard things. And in those hard things, we need to build optimism so that we don't think that everything is difficult and everything is awful and everything is hard. Building optimism means we're going to find the good in a not so good situation. And so trying to find some bright spots in darker days. And so that's what our exercise was about. And that's a great way to help school agers build some coping skills and some confidence.
So, definitely. I think that's a good one, especially even with teenagers. I think asking them those things, getting them to put their phone down to have those conversations, I think is going to be harder. But definitely having that what was good, better, best. And Phillip, I'm usually all done with my teens when they, I'm all done. No. So I changed my mind. I don't want a dad today. I'm just going to, but so I do like those skills. But in reference to the 7 C's and with resilience, I chose connecting and coping with my teenagers. I felt like in order to be successful and manage ourselves through this COVID-19 epidemic, that would be the best way because connecting with teens can sometimes be very difficult. So, so in order to successfully connect with one another, I had to find activities that are about coping and connecting. And so what I did is I chose this thing called the 30 Days of Happiness calendar. And what it is, we collaborated, and each day we came up with either an activity for connecting or coping to do together, or something they can do alone. So it was, so we really sat down and gave them that choice of which one. So with our family, we are not all in the same house. So and like with so many other people during this time, they may not be able to physically see someone that they're normally used to seeing. So as you can see in this video, I have one of my daughters who's sitting with me and the other one who's actually on FaceTime. And so it's a really good activity. And let me go ahead and show you guys the video.
Okay, girls, we're going to fill out our 30 Days of Happiness Challenge. All right, you're going to give me coping activity we can do, and then we're going to come up with a connecting activity that we can do. Okay, so Anissa, since you're here with me and things we can do here at the house, what is a connecting activity that we could do to help build a strong relationship?
Cooking dinner.
Cooking dinner. What kind of
Bacon burgers.
bacon burgers? Because we like bacon in this house.
I love
All right. So pick a day you want to. Go ahead and write cooking dinner and bacon burgers on your calendar. Peyton.
What's up?
So you give me what is a connecting activity or a coping one that you'd like to do?
I mean, we could play game pitches over iMessages over FaceTime.
Perfect. I like that one. So I can keep beating you in your games. So go ahead and find a day that you want to do that. All right. And since you guys gave me 2 connecting, I think a coping one we can do would be breathing. Like we can all at the same time watch FaceTime. We can do a breathing quietly.
I breathe all day, every day.
Meditative breathing together. Yes.
So as you can see in the video, my teenagers gave me a run for my money, but it was, so we completed the calendar as a family, and I took some of their suggestions and some of mine. I would suggest come prepared with a list of activities to help spark their thought process, because you'll get some of the same things over and over. So I think that's important that as an adult we come. And so we finished it, and then I'll show you what this video looks like.
Now that we've finished our 30 Days of Happiness Challenge, I want you guys to give me what your favorite one was. So, Peyton, what was your favorite one?
Roller skating as a family.
Roller skating as a family, all right. And Anissa, what was your favorite one?
Bacon cookies.
Bacon cookies. I think we could do bacon cookies and eating them. The bacon cookies be the connected part, and eating
I'll
them
eat that.
is our coping skill together. So we can bacon cook together, all right? So now that we have this filled out, we hang it up, and then we will go back each day and we will look at which ones we chose to as a coping, which one's connecting, and we'll use those every time. Cool?
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. And then on Wednesdays, what do you have, Peyton? Mike. All right. Thanks, girls.
So as you can see, like my kids were actually totally engaged in this, which I really enjoyed. I thought it would be kind of difficult, but you know, after we filled out, we talked about, I think it's good to reflect on why they chose the ones they chose. And if you don't feel like, you might feel like 30 days might be too big, you can even start small, do 1 week or 2 weeks at a time. But this is definitely a great activity to help build those relationships through connection and help them learn some coping skills while you manage these difficult times.
That was a really great example. And I'm just laughing because I think about how much resilience came through the humor in that experience with them. Like, you got to see their true personalities coming out, and that humor, again, is another way to just make things feel a little lighter than maybe what they are in reality. So again, that builds the skill set. One thing about the C's, and Philip and Greg, we were talking about this a little bit earlier, is they're all very intertwined. So when you're thinking about how you're building those skills, they intertwine, they can be happening simultaneously, but there's also this level of building on one another, you know? So I think about it as children get older, they're probably going to gain even more of those skills. And we as adults have to facilitate that for them and help them know what we're trying to do with resilience. So thank you so much for joining. Is there anything else you would like to add to our conversation?
No, I just think it's important that people realize that, like you said, as they get older, they build more skills, but they still need that support. And that sometimes we think, oh, they're good to go, but they still need that support and helping them connect and coping with these.
Wonderful. So I would just like to leave our audience with this thought. And that thought is, how can you help a child or youth in your life build more skills so that they can feel like they can bounce back during those difficult times? So thanks for joining us, everybody. It's been a pleasure being with you today. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.